Well, folks, last week, Donald Trump got popped for violating the gag order that had been placed upon him by Judge Arthur Engoron. And the reason for that, of course, is because Donald Trump did not fully delete the original post that he had shared on Truth Social attacking one of the staffers in the courtroom. He deleted it from Truth Social, but he didn't delete it off of his own website, donaldjtrump.com. So Judge Engoron decided to do the very bare minimum, and on Friday he hit Donald Trump with a $5,000 fine. He could have put him in jail over the weekend, just sit and think what you did, but instead he said, give the court $5,000. Kind of weak, not what I wanted, but hey, at least it's some kind of punishment for breaking the rules, right? Well, shortly after Donald Trump was fined $5,000, Donald Trump Jr. decided to one-up his father and potentially violate the gag order himself by sharing an article on Twitter attacking Judge Engoron and accusing him of violating judicial ethics. Let me give you a little bit more backstory before I can tell you the full story. The reason Donald Trump got popped for not deleting the post last week was because the media company MeidasTouch, great folks by the way, they actually brought it to everybody's attention like, hey, oh my God, he still has this thing on his website. Well, that made it all the way up to New York Attorney General Letitia James. She brought it to the judge and the judge took action upon that, all based on MeidasTouch being the group to expose it. Now, MeidasTouch did not go to Judge Engoron and say, Judge, you have to do something about this. Look at our reporting. All they did was bring it to everybody's attention like, hey, this is still here, kind of a big deal. So Junior gets on Twitter, shares an article from the right-wing outlet National Pulse that, let me read this. It said that Judge Engoron, quote, is acting on the orders of Democrat Political Action Committee MeidasTouch in sanctioning Trump. And as MeidasTouch actually points out, this post disparages the judge by accusing him of committing ethical violations of the Judicial Code of Ethics by doing the bidding of a political PAC. If true, that would result in the removal of any judge from the bench. In fact, the judge was simply made aware of what was reported by a media company, not a political PAC. But Junior still sent that out to 10 million of his followers, attacking the judge, which, based on the gag order, you can't do. And MeidasTouch, of course, is not a political action committee. They are a media company. But here's the thing, and MeidasTouch points this out. Donald Trump Jr., just like Donald Trump Sr., just like Eric Trump, is subjected to that gag order. That gag order is not limited to just Donald J. Trump. So Junior going out there and spreading this fake news about the judge, that should be considered a violation of that gag order. And again, this happened, it was either late Friday or over the weekend. So today's Monday. Today, this will likely be dealt with by the judge, if not acknowledged and submitted to the judge. So this week, we may have action on this particular issue. And hopefully, Junior gets popped with a little bit more of a penalty than his father. Because after all, right, the first time you do it, I can see how in Trump's case, you could pretend it was a mistake. But in Junior's case, there's no excuse for that at all. Like, you can't even pretend that this was a mistake. It was an article filled with lies about a media company and about a judge. And the judge part is definitely something that is actionable based on the content and the wording of that gag order. So hopefully Junior gets popped with this, but we'll have to wait and see what happens this week. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.